This is Water Guy of 122, and I want to welcome you all to, you could possibly say, the real grand finale of touring Western Carolina University. So, over the past few weeks, or the past 2 months rather, I've uploaded a lot of shorts where we tour different locations around Western Carolina University here in Cullowhee, North Carolina. Well, today we're going to see how all of these locations connect to each other. I did a live stream several weeks ago where I basically did the same thing, but uploading issues forced me to delete that stream, so we're making it up here today. So we will be going on mostly the same route that we went um, on the previous live stream. I will try and mix up some things here and there. Uh, so there's that, but we're going to start and end at the same place. So right now, we're going to start here at one of our residence halls. This is the Village Residence Hall, um, or should I say residential complex. Um, so this is where I'm currently staying in this year, and I'm also staying here again next year. For privacy sakes, I won't tell you which building I'm in, but I do live in this awesome complex. It has 16 houses, and it hosts up to 233 students, and it's also home to many of our fraternities and sororities, something I forgot to mention in the episode where I talked about the village. So there's that, and also throughout this tour, um, I might also mention things that I might have forgotten to mention in the shorts. Um, so there's that. So here we are. This is the village, and we're going to take the trail down this way, and we'll just make our route up from there. So off we go. I will also I will also mention this at the end of this road, like behind all of these buildings over there. There is actually a basketball court. It's got 3 goals with chain netting. So there's that, and also behind our main building over here. If you remember from the village episode, if you tuned into that, there's a beach volleyball court back there. So, yeah, there's that. The main building also has a pool table in the common room, as well as a mini kitchen, or a wet bar, if you will. It also has some great seating options. It's got vending machines, a laundry room, some restrooms, a conference room. It's also where your RA desk is if you decide to live here. Um, so now we're going to take this little trail down here. But before we do, this was something I forgot to show you guys when we were at the village, mostly due to time constraints. But this is our throwing netting, or whatever you call it. This is something that our track and field team uses. They throw big metal balls in this cage, and yeah, they throw them onto that field over there. So yeah, there's that. So now we're gonna take these stairs, and we're gonna hit the next stops on our tour this way. Oh wow, looks like we got some people in here. Hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. Please enjoy this tour of Western Carolina University. Hopefully this hopefully uh, y'all will consider it. Y'all will consider coming here. It's a really good university. So here we have Cullowhee Creek, which is a beautiful creek that flows through this entire campus and eventually flows into the Tuckasegee River. Um, and if you remember, if you watched any of my um, touring Western Carolina University shorts, um, I actually filmed the episode for the picnic shelter right along this bank. So all thanks to this bench right here. See, on the other side of this bank here is the Western Carolina University picnic shelter. It's a public picnic. It's a public picnic ground. You don't have to be a Western Carolina student to use this space. I see families here almost all the time, especially on softball game days. Um, Set up barbecue grills here. There's a ton of those here. There's also a big shelter back there, if you could see. Yeah. So we're going to go this way now. Back on the trail. And over there is another one of our residence halls. That is the Norton Road Residence Hall. And above this little hill here is our brand new IM fields, or intramural fields. So there's that. It rained here pretty recently, so that's why there's a little bit of flooding here on this trail. But we're going to keep going anyway. So over here you can see the tee areas for where some of our old disc golf holes used to be. If you remember from my Catamount Links disc golf course episode, all the holes got moved up there past Norton Road. So now they're in one pretty confined area. Right? So, right here, we got a better view of Norton Road Residence Hall, another residence hall that hosts all grade levels, even grad students. And we can kind of sort of see the basis for the new intramural fields, which opened last semester. As of right now, I believe it's the newest addition to the Western Carolina University campus. In fact, we'll go off trail here for a sec, and I'll show you them. So these are our brand new IM fields. You can look around here. It's all this big, big area right here. The most common sporting intramural team that you'll find on these fields is flag football. In fact, I watched one of their games pretty recently, and yeah, it was really fun. So now we are going to make our way back to the trail. Oh, it's where's this again? Okay, yeah, this is Western Carolina University here in Cullowhee, North Carolina. It's a beautiful Division I university, opened in 1889, and it served the purpose to serve education to all Western North Carolina students, specifically for teaching degrees, because this university used to be a teacher's college back in the day. And again, we'll get more into that in my upcoming Western Carolina University history series episode, which is still being in the works. I've almost got the script for it written. I've just been committed to doing this series where I actually tour the university as opposed to getting the history series done with. Anyway, so we're going to walk over this bridge now over Cullowhee Creek. As we can see here. This is a beautiful bridge, by the way. All the way to our next location, which is this place here. This is the Western Carolina University Softball Stadium, or the Catamount Softball Complex. And I failed to mention this in the softball stadium episode. But the Cats' first ever series here took place in 2006, where they swept South Carolina State. So there's that. You could kind of see the grandstand over there. Something that was not shown in the softball episode. You want to know why? Because in this episode, I couldn't get into the stadium. So I literally had to film right past this fence hole right here. I don't know if this was the exact one, but it was one of them. But so there's that. We're actually going to walk back this way, back to the trail. Yeah, it's crazy. So, yeah, in fact, the softball team's got a doubleheader today against Wofford College, the Terriers from Spartanburg. So, there's that. They also have Game 3 against Wofford tomorrow, which I'm planning on going to. Haven't been to a softball game this season, which is crazy. So, there's that. So, we're going to come down this way, back onto this beautiful bridge across Cullowhee Creek. And these, I don't know what these are used for. I think these are like pull-up bars. I've never seen anyone use these before, so y'all's guess is as good as mine. So now we're making our way over this way to the Catamount Athletic Complex. Okay, so to our left here, we have Schrader Practice Field, named after Charles Schrader. Dr. Charles Schrader, who, without him, Western Carolina University would not be as big of a soccer school as they are now, or at least in the women's soccer department, because we don't have a men's soccer team. We only have women's. But that's fine, because our women's soccer team is one of our proudest sports teams here at WCU, or at least very, very recently. If you remember from the episode where we stopped at the Catamount Athletic Complex, I told y'all about the success that the women's soccer team has had these last few years. Particularly in 2023 and 2024. 2023, they won the SoCon tournament, Southern Conference tournament rather, or SoCon for short, and they made it all the way to the NCAA Women's Soccer National Tournament, where they ultimately lost to the University of Alabama in the first round. So I can't get into the stadium, or at least not this way. So we're just going to walk around here. There's also a track in the stadium. It's home to our men's and women's track and field teams as well. We also have tennis courts over here, where our women's tennis team hosts matches. I don't remember if we have a men's tennis team or not. I didn't see anything that said we did, but yeah, I can't get on the track, unfortunately, because it's only for WCU athletes. But I can get into the stands here, because this is probably our least secure stadium we have on campus, other than maybe the football stadium, which we'll see later on. But, yeah. And I also mentioned this when I when I showed y'all the softball stadium on the shorts. It is probably the most secure stadium we have on campus. I'm not even kidding. It's like I said earlier, couldn't get into the stadium, so I had to film on the other side of a fence, which is just bizarre. Oh, you're thinking about coming here for the summer? Please do. Please, please do. Yeah. So, yeah. It's beautiful, isolated campus right here within the mountains. If y'all like mountains, if y'all like outdoors, if y'all like if y'all don't like to be in the city, this is the university for you. It's a big college, but it's a big school, but yeah, it's a big school, but it's nice and tucked away. So there's that. Now we are standing at the top of the grandstand here of the Catamount Athletic Complex. Caught a soccer match here the other day. The women's soccer team usually has 2 seasons. They have they compete for conference tournament glory in the fall, and then in the spring they schedule a lot of lower division opponents. It's like a spring training session, I guess you could call it. Um, yeah, so I attended their match this past Tuesday against North Georgia University, a tiny school and a tiny military college in North Georgia. Uh, and Western Carolina won by a score of 1-0 in a defensive slugfest. But that's typically what you're going to get with Western Carolina women's soccer. They're very defensive and they're a very physical team. So if you like seeing physical soccer, if you like watching defense and hard pounding opportunities to shoot at the goal, then yeah, definitely cheer for Western Carolina, or at least in the women's soccer department. Um, yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful athletic complex. I mean, especially considering that it opened in the mid 2000s, which is just amazing. It's just as old as I am. For context, I'm 19, and so yeah, because the stadium opened in 2005. So yeah, it's pretty much just as old as I am, which is crazy. Uh, then over here we have our tennis courts, or at least a few of them, and then behind that we have our disc golf course, which I will show you guys next, or at least the first hole anyway. Yeah, the disc golf course has got a lot of ground to it, so I mean it's 18 holes, and a lot of the holes are brand new. I don't know the whole course right off the top of my head. I know a lot of it though. But if any of you come here to Western Carolina University, feel free to check it out. It's just located right here on the tail end of campus, right before you get to uh, Norton Road Residence Hall. And you also park up here in the old band lots. So there's that. So here we have more tennis courts. I see people play tennis here all the time, whether it's for competition or for recreation. These courts are strictly used for tennis only. So yeah, there's that. It's pretty cool nonetheless, though. So now we're heading back this way towards Norton Road Residence Hall, and we're going to show you guys the disc golf course, or part of it at least. All right, so how's everybody doing here today? If y'all have any more questions about Western Carolina University, please feel free to type them here in the chat. I know the answers to most questions about this university because, well, my goal when I graduate here is not only get my degree, but also be a WCU historian. So there's that. And also, when you come to Western Carolina University, there's a lot of great social media pages for you to join. Like if you're on Facebook, I recommend joining the Cats for Life page, which is an alumni page started off by WC alums like Eddie Poot as well as Patrick Kessler. And there's also a Mike Holloway, a historical deep dive page where alumni throughout the decades have created to post pictures of some of the old buildings here at WCU. Buildings that are either still here or buildings that used to be here but are now demolished, which Western Carolina University has a lot of stories about old buildings, particularly on what I call the historic hill at the very north of campus, which we will see later on. But before we move on, I want to zoom in, check out this building over here. This is I can't remember what the acronym stands for, but this is what we call the NC CAT building. It's a professional business, and I believe it's a teaching headquarters. I'm not exactly sure, but typically I don't associate that building with Western Carolina University and its campus. So that's why I didn't mention it when I was touring this sector campus in my Western Carolina University touring shorts series. So I thought I'd just mention it here. But yeah, now what we're looking at is the disc golf course, which over here is the tee off for hole 1 of our disc golf course. We're very, very proud of our disc golf course. Our disc golf team in particular just went to the Division II Nationals tournament, and one of our players, her name is Coral, I know her very well. She is ranked number 16 in the nation when it comes to women's disc golf, at least intramural disc golf, I believe. So there's that. I even joined the club last semester just to have some fun, not really to compete. Got to know the course pretty well. At least I even got to try out some of the new holes when they were finished. They were finished shortly after Hurricane Helene. So there's that. This is a very, very fun course. And over here is the map that shows you where all the holes are. So right now we are standing at this hole right here. And many of the other holes are located in this general woodsy area. So there's that. Shows you the rules of the game as well as course rules. And even has some health lines. And it even has some emergency health lines here. So there's that. So now over here we have one of our power plants. Many of our electricity comes from this plant. So big shout out and thank you to you all for helping us keep our lights on. So now we're going to go up this steep, steep hill and pass by this parking lot, which used to be the old practice field for the Pride of the Mountains Marching Band, which is the marching band here at Western Carolina University, for those of you who somehow don't know. So, and I say that because Pride of the Mountains is a very, very famous marching band. If you remember from my final short that I posted on my Touring Western Carolina University series, I went all the way down to where the new practice field is, where I also discussed all the success that the marching bands had over the years, including going to multiple Bands of America exhibition shows, uh, many high school competitions around this area, Western North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee. And then next year we're going to Florida over at Tarpon Springs. Uh, so if y'all want to come see us, we will be at Tarpon Springs High School next year over, near Tampa. So there's that. Last year we went to St. Louis and we performed at the Bands of America Super Regionals over at the Dome at America Center. That was really fun. And then 2 years ago, we took our very first international voyage. We went to Dublin, Ireland to march in the St. Patrick's Day Parade, which was really, really fun. So the reason why I'm walking back this way is because there is one more landmark that I forgot to show you all in this set, and that's over here, right behind these trees, our Western Carolina University Print and Mailing Services building. This was a very interesting place because this was the episode when I filmed the episode for this place. This was the one that blew up the most. 2,000 views in not even 15 minutes after it was uploaded, which is absolutely bananas to me. But again, thank you all so much for the support. Yeah, so the Holy Print and Mailing Services building is over there. Just past this road, and then down there it just goes back to the village and loops around, and then comes right back up here, which we are heading to next. So we basically tackled all of the isolated parts of campus here. Welcome back, RW. Glad to see you're back here with us. I think it's just you and me at this point, but that's fine. So, yeah. We're going to head back this way. To essentially the core of Western Carolina University's campus. So, this building that we're walking to is the Western Carolina University Bookstore. One of my favorite buildings here on this university. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Because if they're open, I think we could go in there. So, this building is where students get their textbooks from. Like, you'll check in with your CAT card, your special ID card that you get here if you enroll at this university. And the information as to how many books you need is saved on your CAT card. So all you do is scan, get your books list, you go into a special hallway where your textbooks will be given to you. And then at the end of the semester, you come back here and turn them in to the bookstore. It's also home to a lot of Western Carolina University merchandise. Let's see. So on Saturdays, They open at 10 o'clock. Oh, wow. Yeah, I just checked the time. They're open. So why don't we go in and check? I won't say much in here, but uh, I'll just let you guys look around. Here we are. I think with some of these buildings as well, we can probably go in them. Got some alumni shirts right here. Some pants here. Some shorts and some socks. They also have a lot of t-shirts on these racks. Type of merch here from Western. I love this one here. This is what our logo used to look like way back in the day. Our football team usually used to have a shirt with this design. Absolutely love it. For context, I have at this point, over 50 WCU shirts. I have a lot. So, and many of them have come from this bookstore. So, there's that. I also have a secondary desk here with a lot of smaller merchandise. And more shirts over here. They have some notebooks over here. They even have custom Western Carolina University themed notebooks in this shelf. This is one of them. Purple and gold stripes. They even have Western Carolina University themed pens here. If I could, yeah, see that? And pencils. Come on, turn around. There we go. Focus camera. Thank you. They even have small stuffed animals of our mascot, Paws. So there's that. We're gonna walk this way. They even have drinkware here, custom Western Carolina mugs, wine glasses, shot glasses, um, thermoses over here and over here. They also have winter. They also have winter gear here, chums, locks, keychains. They also have squishmallows over in this crate here. If y'all like squishmallows, you can get your very own Western Carolina University uh, Catamount Squishmallow. Over here is the entrance to the hallway where you um, pick up and return your textbooks. And then over here, if y'all, all of you golf enthusiasts out here, we even have custom Western Carolina University golf gear. We have a lot of golf courses in Jackson County, the county where WCU is located. So if y'all like golf, this is where you get them. We have golf bags, we have golf balls, we have golf gloves. Um, we have keychains, hydro flasks. We even have Western Carolina University license plates and game day chairs for all of you who like tailgating at college football games. So there's that. We also have a lot of alumni stuff here. Stickers. And we even have personal products here, like deodorant, shampoo, uh, and brushes. We even have some smaller stuffed animals over here. We have some backpacks here, and even a small little convenience store in this corner. So there's that. We even have Western Carolina piggy banks. We're going to walk it this way out of here into the bookstore lobby. And we're moving on to the next um, we're moving on to the next building. I will say though, um, we probably won't have time to tour all the buildings like we did with the bookstore, but yeah. Now over here we have the center. We have the Campus Recreation Center, or the CRC. If y'all like working out or having fun over at the gym or playing some basketball, this is the place for you. We might come back to this building in a minute, but for right now, we're going to move on to this building here. So this is the Anthony Keith Hines University Center, or the UC for short. At least this is the back side of the UC. And many campus events take place here, particularly on the third floor, because on the third floor there's a grand room. It's a huge grand room that hosts many of our celebrations and parties, hosts many of our indoor ones. Outdoor ones are usually hosted on the lawns that are on the other side. But here we're on the second floor right now, the second floor entryway here. This place is really special because it's got two porch swings and two wooden chairs. Then up on the third floor is kind of a ramp that goes down to the Caltrans stops, which I'll go ahead and show you guys right over here. So right here, this is one of our many Caltrans stops here on campus. And for those of you who don't know what a Caltrans is, they are a small shuttle system. At least they are, well, yeah, they're shuttles that'll take you to anywhere on campus you want to go. There are many different kinds of Caltrans here. There's All Campus Express, which has the longest route. It'll take you to most of our residence halls, most of our dining halls, most of our most stuff on upper campus, etc. Then you have the Village Express, which goes down to the Village and Norton Road. Then we have HHS Commuter and HHS Express, which take you to our Health and Human Sciences building that's off campus. I probably won't be able to show you guys the Health and Human Sciences building, but if you go back to the very first episode of my Touring Western Carolina University shorts, I show you guys the Health and Human Sciences building there. So if you want to get an idea of what it looks like, go watch that video. So there's that. There's also the Commuter Express, which will take you down south to our commuter parking deck, our football stadium, our basketball arena, our baseball stadium, and our marching band practice field, which we will see at the end of this tour. So there we go. So now we're going to make our way into the University Center. There's some people in here. I'm going to try not to get them on camera, but I'll do my best. This is a very popular spot. So here we are on the second floor of the University Center. So this complex right here is our student mailroom. This is where you pick up your packages. Like if you have any incoming mail, they're usually delivered here. When you come here to Western, you're assigned a specific mailbox. Here's just an example of a few of these. There's one for every student. Western Carolina University has over 11,000 students, which is Not really that big when you consider Division One schools like UNC Chapel Hill or Duke or Tennessee, Alabama, etc. But Western Carolina University is a Division One school. They play in Division One FCS in football and in basketball. Well, I mean, they're Division One. Every other sport, they're Division One. So there's that. Then across the hall from here is the Department of Intercultural Affairs. Western Carolina University is a very cultural, culturally aware campus. We're very accepting of anyone, regardless of race, sexuality, religion, political beliefs, economic status, etc. Looks like they're in a meeting right now, so we'll move on to the next location. I also forgot to mention this, but on the third floor we have a movie theater. So if any of y'all like watching movies, the theater typically hosts movies. I think every week. I believe that's right. It's up there, and then the grand room, what I was talking to y'all earlier about, is this way on the third floor. And over here, behind these doors, is one of our multi-purpose rooms. And fun fact about this room, this was where I voted for the very first time. Typically during election years, they'll host voting. They'll host voting machines in here, and WCU students can vote in this room. So there's that. Okay, so now we got to be a little bit quiet here because we're entering what I like to call the study hub of the UC. So over here we have our guest services desk. It's also our campus. It's also located for our campus lost and found. We have a printer over here. And then we're going to go out these doors right here onto our balcony. And so here, this overlooks Central Plaza. So over there's the CRC. Right in front of us here is our very beloved Alumni Tower. Then we have the UC lawn right here. This is where many of our outdoor events are held. You might find tents here from fraternities or sororities during their recruiting season. And at the beginning of every single year, we have what's called Valley Ballyhoo, where a lot of clubs and intramural sports um, have have their recruiting times here as well. Been to both Valley Ballyhoos, and they're very, very fun. This is also a very popular study space. All right, now we're going to go back in here. Alrighty then. Well, thanks for tuning in, RW. Okay, so moving on with the tour, we are going to go down these big stairs. And we'll be heading down onto the first floor where we have an Einstein's Bagel Bros. And if you are fans of that, you can find it here. Then we have more restrooms here, some vending machines in that corner, a nice elevator with probably the dopest elevator doors you'll see on campus. Then over here, you have a student lounge. And then over here, you have another vending machine as well as a little arcade. You have an ice ball here, and if you like skee ball, um, you can play ice ball here. We also have a pinball machine right here. So there's that. And it's sort of a continuation of the arcade. You have more digital video games here. And then you have an ATM machine right here. This is probably the only one that we have here on this campus, as far as I'm aware of. There might be more, but typically this is where you check your balance. So now we're going to head out of the UC. And here we have our alumni tower and our CRC. But now we're actually gonna head this way. We'll come back to this sective campus when we travel to the football stadium and that sective campus. So stay tuned for that. To anyone who is here. It's a beautiful Saturday morning here in Cullowhee. But we are now going to tour this building right here. This is the Coulter Building, home of the Western Carolina University School of Music and the Belcher College of Fine and Performing Arts. And for those of you who don't know, Belcher, the College for Fine and Performing Arts is named after David Belcher, who was chancellor of this university from 2011 all the way up until his death in 2018. I believe he was the first ever chancellor to die in office, which is crazy. Here we are on the first floor of Coulter. It also serves as the home for the Department of English Studies. So if you're a music major here, this will be your main hub. If you're an English major, this is where your hub is as well. Who in the world thought it would be a good idea to have music and English majors in the same building? And that's crazy. So then over here we have some vending machines. We have a printer here, one of our black and white printers actually. Then we have this door, which goes to many of our offices and our percussion studios. I don't know if I have time to show you guys all the other floors, but I will say our recital hall is located on the second floor. We have a piano lab on the third floor, as well as a bunch of practice rooms. We also have a commercial music and audio production lab on the third floor. We have a small ensemble room on the fourth floor. Yeah. And also on the second floor, we have more practice rooms. And then in this little niche, we have our tuba office, as well as the doors that lead to our band room. I don't know if anyone's in there right now. Sounds like one of our piano majors is practicing in there, so we won't go in there. So yeah, that's a little bit of a summary of Coulter. And now we're out here into what is known as the academic quad. So this is home to all of your main academic locations here on campus, or at least four buildings tied in one area. So you got the Killian building over here, which is home to the College of Education and Allied Professions. It's also home to our psychology program. You have Killian Annex over here, which is home to many of our student services offices, including our advising center, Office of Accessibility Resources, student financial account. the Department of Student Accounting here, and Then you have the student retention office and our registrar's office. And of course, I already talked to you guys about Coulter. So there's that. And then over here is our Forsyth building, which is home to the Western Carolina University College of Business. So any business majors who want to attend Western, or any type of major who wants to do anything in the business field, this is your home, the Forsyth building here. So now we're going to walk this way. There's a lot of Cherokee symbols here on this university because Western Carolina University is built on Cherokee-owned land. So anytime Western Carolina University wants to add something to their campus, they have to receive permission from the Cherokee tribe, which Western Carolina University's whole purpose of existence was to provide education for students here in Western North Carolina, regardless of race, religion, background, race, religion, sexual orientation, gender identity, political beliefs, etc. This is a place where everyone comes to learn. So we're walking under Killian Annex, and we've got more buildings here on this side. So this is our McKee building, which is home to a lot of different programs here at Western. It has anthropology, history, Cherokee studies, let's see, foreign languages, all that fun stuff. And yeah, I've had 2 classes in this building, and for this building being as old as it is, it's been on this campus since 1939 as a part of the WPA funding help that the university received from the New Deal. It's been here ever since, and it's a really, really interesting building. Inside, it looks like, at least on the first and second floors there, it's weird because you have a ground floor, a first floor, and a second floor. I don't know why, but on the first and second floors, it looks like you're inside of an English, like a British preparatory academy, like one of those fancy private schools in England. Then this building right here is the University Auditorium, which was another building that was constructed in 1939. And we will actually head inside this building when we get out here. So stay tuned. And I say this because the next building we're going to is this building, a brand new Apodaca Science building. I really wish there were some people in here to see this, because holy jeez, this building absolutely rules. Because, I mean, seriously, it was built in 2021, named after North Carolina State Senator and Western Carolina University alumnus Tom Apodaca. And yeah, so we're going to go inside here. At least I hope we can. Looks like we can. So here we go. We're going inside Apodaca. So this is the second floor of Apodaca. And here you could see pictures of what Western Carolina University used to look like back in the day. This one in particular is one of my favorite photos of the university. Hunter Library right there, Stillwell, Auditorium, McKee, Byrd, Breese, Albright, and Benton, and our old football stadium right there, Memorial Stadium, which is where we're actually standing on the grounds where Memorial Stadium would be. So there's that. The fifth floor, I will say, of Apodaca. Fifth floor has a beautiful outdoor terrace which overlooks this sect of campus. But unfortunately, I don't think we'll have enough time to go up there because we got other places to be. This is a big campus. So we go through here. We are now in the Stillwell building. This was our science building for many years. In fact, it was our primary sciences building from 1953 when it opened, all the way up to 2021 when Apodaca was built. Apodaca mainly takes care of our sciences, our science programs. So Stillwell, still being used. It houses our mathematics programs, communications, philosophy and religion, geography, and political science. So there's that. So this is the second floor of Stillwell. Philosophy and religion office is located on this floor, as well as the communications office. So we're going to go up this short little staircase right here to the lobby floor of Stillwell. So up there is our third floor. It also has a nice little study area, complete with some vending machines. So there's that. We're going to exit this way. So over here is Breese Gymnasium, which is probably the only building on campus that we have. It's made out of stone. And then over this way, past Stillwell, is Hunter Library. This is our campus library over here. Built in 1952, named after our third ever chancellor here at WCU, Hiram T. Hunter. And I talked about the Hunter era in my previous Western Carolina University history episode, so there's that. It also has a Java City coffee shop and is home to the Mountain Heritage Center, which pretty much has all information regarding Western Carolina University's history. So if you want, for context, many of the information that I present in my Western Carolina University history series is information from the Mountain Heritage Center. So thank you so much to the Mountain Heritage Center for supplying me with this information. But yeah, Hunter Library is absolutely amazing. A lot of great resources in here. They even have isolation booths where you can host podcasts. Then over here we have the steam plant, which is another one of our power plants here on campus. It along with the Moore building, which we will see in a few minutes, is the oldest building on campus. And I know it doesn't look like it. I'll zoom in here because it looks brand new. It looks state of the art. But yeah, it was built all the way back in the early 20s. And it's received a lot of renovations since. And then down this road will take you to the old campus entrance. And it will also take you to downtown Cullowhee, which is home to one of the best restaurants in Western North Carolina, in my opinion at least, Rogers Brothers. They have great hamburgers there. They have great pizza over there. They especially have great milkshakes over there. Like if y'all love milkshakes, you definitely have to go and give Rogers Bros a try. In fact, I had a milkshake from there yesterday. Oh boy, it was good. Uh, so now we're heading back to where we exited from Stillwell. You can actually see Stillwell a little bit better. This is Stillwell. Now, jeepers, we're already past an hour. Yeah, I failed to mention at the beginning of this tour, this could take a while because this is a big campus. Big campus. So now we're here at the University Auditorium. Glad we got one person in here who could see this because I definitely want to show you guys the inside of this place. I hope the school. This is where the school stage and screening hosts their shows. Theater program as well hosts their shows here. Oh, damn it. It looks like we can't get in. Oh, man, that sucks because I really wanted to show you guys the inside of the space, but it looks like it's all locked up for the day, but that's fine. So over here we have the McKee building again. Keep in mind, there are some of these buildings here I won't be able to get into. So, yeah. Then over here is the Byrd building. So the Byrd building is where our campus doctor's office is located, and it's also home to our psychiatric services here. Uh, campus, our CAPS Association, Campus Association for Psychological Services, I believe it's called. This is our Byrd building over here. It used to be an administration building for a while. Then it got then the infirmary moved from the Graham building, which used to be behind the Byrd building, into here. We got McKee over here once again, and then over here, this building. This is all. This is our. This is Noble Residence Hall, right over here. It opened in 2017, was somewhere around that area. And it has many businesses. It has a convenience store. It has a Subway, Innovation Brewery, and a Chili's. You can't really see it because we're behind a bunch of trees here. But yeah, we're going to move this way. You can kind of see them like down over here this way. And we will be walking along this sidewalk on our way back down from campus. So there's that. We're going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next sect of campus, which is our east side of campus, which is home to many of our dorm halls and many of our. We also have our second dining hall down this way. So this is the historic hill, as I like to call it. Many of Western Carolina's oldest buildings are on this hill. So to get there, we're going to go up these steps here. I will say, though, this hill is quite an exercise. So try and bear with me, guys. So we're going to go up this hill here. Okay. So we're walking along the main road here. It's quite a hike up here. So this building right here is one of our 2 dining halls we have on this campus. This is Brown Dining Hall. Looks like we got someone else here in the chat. At least here on the stream, welcome. Oh, now they're gone again, but that's fine. Whew. I always forget just how steep of a climb this is, but yeah, this is Brown Dining Hall. It's home to the large cafeteria, as well as our 2 restaurants, 1889 Bistro and Blue Ridge Burger, both of which are very good restaurants. In fact, we'll actually head in there. I'll show you guys the inside. But over here is the old Student Union, which used to be the old University Center, so to speak. And then up there, behind those trees, is the Moore Building. But I'll show you guys that in a minute. So, we're walking on the sidewalk here, all the way up to Brown. It's had a massive renovation in 2018, and it's been looking like this ever since. We have a Starbucks building here. Both of our dining halls have a Starbucks. So, if you like Starbucks, Western Carolina University definitely won't disappoint. So here's the Starbucks here at Brown Dining Hall. This one is only open on weekdays. It's closed on the weekends. But the one down at our other dining hall, which we'll see in a minute, is open every day. So here we are at Brown Dining Hall's beautiful outdoor patio. Then over here, we have a beautiful fountain. See right there? Gorgeous fountain right here. Over here we have a gas fire pit, which I haven't seen it being used before. So there's that. Here's the back side of Brown Dining Hall. We're gonna go inside it now. So come along with me. Y'all feeling hungry? We're gonna go into this dining hall. Now I know there are gonna be some people in here, so I'm gonna try my best not to get them on camera. Alright, so here we are at the Cat's Den. We got some more pictures here of what WCU used to look like back in the day. This one in particular right here is another one of my favorites. We turn around here, we got 1889 Bistro over there. And then on the other side, we have Blue Ridge Burger. But you order all of your orders over at the 1889 Bistro register. Then you go through these double doors. We also have soda fountains in here. We have soda fountains in both of our dining halls. So over here is the lodge cafeteria. It's not open. It's only open on weekdays at specific times. It's not like the other dining hall, which is open every day of the week. Okay. And here we have our beautiful hallway. This is the third floor of Brown. Brown also serves the location for the headquarters of the Department of Residential Living. So if you have any questions about on-campus housing, or if you want to select a dorm hall, you go to them. But here on the third floor, it's just food and drinks galore. And also on the third floor, they have this huge dual-sided fireplace. Only operates at certain times of the day. But there's that. There's also some TVs over here. Then through those doors, it'll take you to another dining area as well as another outdoor dining area. So yeah, this is Brown Dining Hall. Beautiful, beautiful place to eat. And the food here I could definitely say for 1889 Bistro and Blue Ridge, they're both very, very good. But the Lodge is kind of hit or miss. The thing about the Lodge is that they serve the same thing every single day of the week. They only change their menu every week. So, yeah. Now we're leaving Brown. Yeah, now we're leaving Brown. And we're going up this way. Past the old Student Union, which is the current location for our campus radio station, 95.3 WWCU. We're going to walk up this way to the Moore Building and Joyner Plaza. So over here is the Moore Building. It's the oldest building on campus along with the steam plant. And then right next door to Moore is this. I'll show you guys in a minute. When we get up these steps. There's a lot of steps in this set of campus, because this is a very treacherous part of campus. But over here's the Moore Building. Very infamous, because it's haunted. I can definitely confirm it is haunted. And then this area right here is the Joyner Plaza. So the Joyner Plaza was built in the 80s, and it's essentially a memorial site to honor the Joyner Building, which was built way back in 1913. And yeah, you can actually, if you walk up here, you can see what the Joyner Building used to look like. It was lost, it burned down in a fire in 1981. So, yeah, but I mean, it was a very, very beloved building here on campus. And if it were still up today, it would have been the oldest building on campus. It's also earned a spot on the National Registry of Historic Places. The interesting thing about Moore, though, here at this building, is that there's a lot of ghost stories attached to Moore. As far as I know, 3 women were murdered here, or at least the 3 women died here on the 3rd floor, back when this used to be a women's dormitory. Uh, two of them, unfortunately, 2 of them were raped and murdered, and one of them committed suicide. But I actually went on a ghost hunt here yesterday, and I found a lot of ghosts here in Moore. So I'm definitely confident that there are more people that died here than those 3 women who died up on the 3rd floor. So Moore was built in 1924, named after Walter E. Moore, who helped with the construction for this building. And it was originally opened as a women's dormitory, but then in the 80s, it transitioned into the School of Nursing location. And then when the Health and Human Sciences building was opened in 2012, Moore was shut down, and it's been abandoned pretty much ever since. I have heard the university is trying to make some plans to renovate and redecorate this building, but that was over 5 years ago. Those plans were made over 5 years ago, so I highly doubt that they're not going to do anything no more. I don't know if they're going to keep it here or if they're going to demolish it. I hope they don't demolish it because I think it's on the National Registry of Historic Places, so it would be illegal for them to demolish it. So there's that. But then across the road here from Joyner Plaza is another residence hall. This is the Madison Residence Hall, and this was the location of the very first building that was built on this campus. This was the old Madison building was built here in 1904, and it was named after the university's founder, Robert Lee Madison. And the residence hall was built in 1939, on top of where the old Madison building stands. But it's also called Madison. It's just a residence hall as opposed to a multi-purpose building. So there's that. Now we're gonna walk away from Joyner Plaza. This is honestly probably one of my favorite parts of campus. I love the Joyner Plaza. I love the Moore building. Oh, I only wish that they would do something to the Moore building. I would only wish they would renovate it and reopen it so that people can use it again. I don't know if that'll ever happen, though. So now here we are at the Old Student Union. We're going to walk down this way. So here is a Goblet of Fire statue, because I heard that there's a story that in the 90s, I believe, Western Carolina University entered their bid into the state's Wizards Trial by Fire tournament. Unfortunately, they did not earn their spot in the tournament, but I've been told that they try every year. So that's why this Goblet of Fire stands. So now we're going to walk up to the very top of the hill. Going a little bit of a different way than we did last time if you attended the last stream. So we won't go all the way to the top of the hill here, but if you look over here, we have the Reynolds Residence Hall. I didn't mention this when I made the episode on Reynolds, but the reason why Reynolds is closed, it's not abandoned, it's just being renovated. It's being turned into a student life facility. So there's that. And over here we have the Robertson Residence Hall. I'll zoom into my camera here. Yeah, this is Robertson. Then right here we have our Buchanan Residence Hall. Now we're going to walk down these steps. Let's see. Yeah. Next stop will be more residence halls. There's a lot of stairs over here. Okay. Now we're on our way this way to some more residence halls. Okay. So over here is our Allen Residence Hall, named after Reverend Hamlin Allen, our very first ever African American student. And this is one of my favorite residence halls here on campus. It's very new, very modern, very big and expansive. It's just a beautiful building. I especially love this glass bridge right here in the middle. Over there is our Harrell Residence Hall, named after William Bunyan Harrell. Zoom into my camera so that way you can see it. See it? Yeah, through those trees over there, that's Harrell. And Harrell apparently has a ghost story that I was unaware of until yesterday. A girl committed suicide on the fifth floor of the Harrell Residence Hall, and legend has it that some people have heard or have seen her ghost. I'm not exactly sure if that's true or not, but yeah. So yeah, so this is Allen Residence Hall. Beautiful building. We're gonna actually walk underneath this glass bridge here. Yeah, you can see the glass bridge better. Then over there is the Byrd Alumni House and Judicua Residence Hall. So yeah, we got the Bird Alumni House. It's this tiny, tiny little house right here. And then next to that is the Judicola Residence Hall, which opened in 2004. And for context, the Allen Residence Hall opened in 2019. So explains why Allen's so beautiful and modern, because it is new and modern. So you got Judicola over there. It's a massive dormitory. I've also heard that it too is haunted, but the I don't think those ghost stories of Judicola are true. So those trees here, right there, that's Judicola. And then Harrell is right here. Now we're gonna walk back down this way. Good Lord, I'm hungry. Yeah, yeah, it is. It's almost lunchtime, isn't it? So there's that. So here's the front side of Allen, right here. All right, now we're gonna move on to this sidewalk here. So all of this is part of the historic hill. All of these buildings here, except for Allen, are some of the oldest buildings on campus. You have Buchanan, which has been around since 1960. Brown, which has also been around since 1960. Robertson, which has been around since 1931. Reynolds, which has been around since like the 50s. And of course, Moore, which has been around since 1924. And Joyner Plaza, which commemorates a building that was built way back in 1913. The Old Student Union, 1939. Madison Residence Hall, 1939 as well. And the steam plant, to top it all off, also 1939. So, no, actually, no, 1924 as well. Uh, then we have another pretty old residence hall here on this campus. This is the Albright and Benton Residence Halls. Both of these dorms were opened in 1962, and they were named after Anne Albright and Alice Benton. If you want more information on those two women, I talked about them in my episode for Albright and Benton. I also mentioned that this dorm also might have my favorite common room out of any of the dorms here on this campus. Allen Allen has a lot of common rooms. Judicola has a really nice common room. Um, Noble also has many common rooms. The Village has a common room in their main building. Norton Road has a great common room, complete with a pool table on the third floor. Forgot to mention that. Uh, and Balsam and Blue Ridge, I'm not exactly sure because, well, I'm not really familiar with either of those buildings. Who would say Buchanan? I'm not a huge fan of Buchanan, but it's got a nice common room. The only dorm I've been into that doesn't have a common room, as far as I'm aware, is Robertson. So there's that. Now we're walking down to the final half of our tour, which is bananas to think about because this tour has been almost an hour and a half long, which is just bonkers. But we're gonna hoof it out to the very end. We're gonna make sure we touch every part of campus. So here we got one of our churches here. Got the front side of Brown and another entry up onto the historic hill. And we're coming right back to where we started on our historic hill journey, so to speak. So, yeah. So now we're going to take a left here at this next junction, and we will be going to the Noble Residence Hall and then down to Central Plaza. Here's a little lumber yard where people could donate firewood. They're not accepting donations as of right now, but it's there. Okay. So now here we're at one of our busiest intersections. This is the intersection for Centennial Drive and Central Drive. So over here, Centennial Drive, and then this road that we've been following all the way back there, that's Central Drive. And yeah, so we've explored the entirety of Western Carolina's dorm-happy eastern side of campus. So now we are on our way to the next stops on this campus. So we got the Noble Residence Hall, which we saw earlier. We got Chili's in this little corner. And we have Innovations right next door. Oh, yay, look at this. Here comes one of our Caltrans. It's an all-campus express. Yeah, this is what our Caltrans look like. So, yeah, our Caltrans are very helpful. They'll get you to where you need to go. So then over here we have one of our locations for Innovation Brewery. There's three of them. There's three locations here in this county. There's one here, which is right there. There's one in Silva, and there's one in Dillsboro. Two more big Jackson County towns. So the residence hall is actually located above all of these businesses, except for like right there. You have your Subway right here. This is the only place that doesn't accept CAT cards, so you better have your own personal money here to spend. I mean, even Chili's takes like declining balance here off of your CAT card. So, yeah, Subway's the only place where you have to bring a credit card or cash. They don't accept CAT card stuff. This is Noble Convenience Store. It used to be over at Brown, but now it's here. So now we're heading back towards Central Plaza, and we are almost at the end of this tour, which is bananas. But yeah, we're almost there. We've only got a few more stops left. So, oh, look at that, another Caltrans. I think they're just running all campus Caltrans today. It's kind of chilly over here in Cullowhee, but it's a beautiful day. Very beautiful April morning as the semester and school year is coming to an end. So my sophomore year is almost over here at Western. So now we're on our way back this way to Central Plaza. There's some stairs. We got Coulter over there and the quad back that way. We have the UC right there. And then over here is Campus Square, as I like to call it, or Central Plaza, as it's commonly known. So there's that. We're walking down the stairs here. Right? Here we are at Campus Square. It's where most of our students hang out. It's where most of your buildings will be. Back up the hill that way, that's where you'll find Hillside Grind Coffee Shop, which you can kind of see from here. Zoom into my camera. So right there, that building, that's Hillside Grind. We got Courtyard Dining Hall. We got Reed Gymnasium over here. And CRC back that way. And then over here, we have our Balsam and Blue Ridge residence halls, which are our Honors College dorms. And also, we have the Brinson Honors College right over there. So there's that. So there's Courtyard right over there. Definitely our best dining hall. I mean, Brown's good too, don't get me wrong, but in my opinion, Courtyard is definitely better. It's got better food options, just better food in general. As much as I love 1889 Bistro and Blue Ridge Burger, yeah, I much prefer the second level cafe of Courtyard. So here's Reed Gymnasium. It's home to our health programs, like health education, physical ed. Also has a big gym in there. It's where we used to host basketball games. And then it also has a swimming pool and some pretty cool locker rooms and a fitness facility. But now we are walking down this way to our newest residence halls. These are the Rocks residence halls. These are specifically freshman dorms, and they opened in 2022. I stayed in one of these my freshman year. I stayed in that one right over there. That's Black Rock. What in the world is this? I think.
Oh, how funny. There's also like stuff to make sandwiches with. Yeah, I'm gonna get sandwich.
Oh yeah, Tuck River cleanup shirts. For those of you who don't know, Western Carolina University has a tradition where many of their intramural sports teams will volunteer in the spring to help clean up the Tuckasegee River. And they give out T-shirts, which is what those guys were doing back there. So there's that. So now we're here at the Rocks, a place I used to call home last year. These are really nice dorms. These are really, really nice dorms. State-of-the-art facilities, kitchens and laundry rooms, and state-of-the-art study rooms and common rooms. It's just really beautiful here. But I would probably have to say my favorite part. on the rocks is their lawns. Just think about this. Look at this place. I know we had some people that left here, but yeah, these are the rocks lawns. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, we're gonna walk down this way now. So here we have Shining Rock Residence Hall. Then over here we have Water Rock. And over there is Black Rock. And these stand on the land where the Scott and Walker residence halls used to stand. They were two of our tallest dormitories here on campus at the time. They were up. They were demolished during the pandemic, I believe. But one of them had another ghost story attached to them. The Scott Residence Hall has had a ghost story. So in the 90s, a girl who was living on the 8th floor committed suicide. And the 8th floor of Scott was subsequently shut down due to reportings of paranormal activity. And I don't know if it ever. I'm not sure if it ever reopened, but legend states that's what the legend states. Unfortunately, the Scott building is demolished and is no longer here. So, unfortunately, I can't show you the Scott building, but we have these beautiful dormitories here instead. The rocks. So now we are on our way down south, if you will, the very lowest portion of campus. So right here is the HFR Administration Building, which opened in 1979, named after Harold Robinson, one of our past chancellors. Then over there is where the current cat statue is. I would show you the front, but we have a senior over there taking graduation pictures over there, so I won't show you there. I won't show you that, but you can see the rear end of it. So there's that. We have. Now you can pretty much see why this building is called the Ugly White Building, because it just sticks out like a sore thumb when you look at the rest of the buildings here on campus. It's the only building on campus that's made out of concrete or sandstone. I don't exactly know what material this building's made out of, but my guess is concrete. So now we're walking down this way to the main sidewalk here. Here's Centennial Drive once again. Then we have a tiny, tiny visitor information booth. I didn't show you guys this on the Touring Western Carolina University shorts because I didn't really think it was that important. I mean, it's just literally just this tiny, tiny little building right there. You can even call it a building, really. And I'm not exactly sure what it's used for. So now we're entering this final sect of campus. So over here is the Bardo Arts Center. This is the site of Bardo, which is home to the College of Art and Design. If you're an art major, if you like painting, sculpting, or any type of visual art, this is your hub, pretty much. We just passed by another cat tram. Yippee! So now we're going to go over the creek area here, and we're going to take you to the other side where you will find the Cordelia Camp building. So, yeah, we're going to walk this way. Actually, you can actually see the Cordelia Camp building from this side, because there's two buildings on this side of the stream where I did not show you guys. So let's go ahead and just do that. Go ahead and show you guys those two buildings. So right here we have Bardo, a beautiful, beautiful place. If I can, I'll take you guys in there. This is also home of our Fine Arts Museum, which is a very famous museum in Western North Carolina. I've toured that museum a few times. Absolutely amazing museum. Thanks for the like here. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And especially if you want to keep up with more information regarding Western Carolina University, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe here to this channel. It's crazy that this stream is almost over 2 hours long. That's crazy. So here we go. We made it to Bardo. Oh no, it doesn't look like we could get in here. Yep, looks like she's all locked up for today. Oh well. That's fine. So, here we go. So here are the big glass foyer for Bardo. Or if I could get into Bardo from this door. Oh man, yeah. I keep forgetting this place is locked up on the weekends. But yeah, it sucks, but yeah, this is the Bardo Fine and Performing Arts Center, named after John W. Bardo, a former Western Carolina University chancellor who served the university from 1995 to 2011. And then right here, the front entrance of Bardo is a statue of Chancellor David Belcher, who died in 2018. You can read that right there. Sorry if my shadow got in the way there. So now we're on our way to the two buildings that we need to see before we move into that part of Western Carolina University. So the building we're walking to right now is the Center of Applied Technology, or the CAT building for short. It's where our music studio is, broadcasting studio, mechanical engineering labs. All those places are located here. And then behind that is the Belk building, which is this huge building right there. In fact, I don't think you can see all of it. So we're going to walk over this way. We also have Balsam Residence Hall over there, and then the rocks just behind those trees. All right, so welcome to anyone who is attending this live stream for the first time here, or if you're returning back from earlier, welcome back. So here we got this whole building complex right here to our left and to right in front of us. This is the Belk building. It's home to our engineering departments, as well as our school stage and screening. It's even got some music labs. It's also home to our construction management department, criminal justice, etc. Now we move on this way. We're going to move past the Center for Applied Technology, or the CAP building. If I can, we can actually go inside there. We can actually go inside. I won't be able to show you the recording studios, unfortunately. But, yeah. I should be able to get into here through these doors. Oh, wow. I guess it's also locked. Oh, well. But yeah. This is our Center for Applied Technology. Opened in 2003. Now we're going to move to our football stadium. So come on. I keep forgetting that many of the buildings here at Western are locked up on the weekends. Oh, looks like there's I think that's either all campus or commuter. Commuter Express usually runs down that way. So there's that. So now we're moving on to E.J. Whitmire Stadium, Bob Waters Field. It opened in 1974. Has been hosting our Catamount football team ever since. So, fun fact about our mascots: Western Carolina University, back when it was a college, they were known as the Teachers. In 1933, they changed their mascot name to the Boomers, a common squirrel, and apparently that name didn't stick for very long, and so they shortly changed it to the Catamounts. Western Carolina University is one of two universities in the United States that has a catamount as their mascot, the other one being the University of Vermont. So, there's that. E.J. Whitmire Stadium is currently going under a massive renovation that will turn these stands that are in front of us into the home stands. There will be a new press box, new concession stands, new seating arrangements, you name it. So this whole side of the stadium will be closed down during the 2025 season, and will reopen in the 2026 season. So there's that. So we're going to move down this way. We're going to go through this parking lot, and we're going to cross a wooden bridge that'll take us to the IM fields, at least our old intramural fields. So this is where the borders for the construction site are. This whole parking lot is closed down. It's the Catamount lot, as people call it. This parking lot here. It's also a very popular tailgating scene during football season. Also, the Bardo parking lot back over there. It's also a popular football tailgating spot, as is the camp lot, which you saw earlier. Now we're going to walk across this bridge. We're going to go over Cully Creek again. And here, we have made it to the original IM fields. We're going to take a left here, but to the right, that will take you back to the campus police station, the camp building, the pedestrian bridge that goes over Highway 107, and basically to where we were earlier on the tour. We're going to go this way, all the way down to the creek lot, as people like to call it. Another very popular tailgating spot for football season. And here you can get a better view of the IM fields. Club lacrosse, ultimate frisbee, club soccer, rugby, men's and women's rugby, and many other outdoor intramural sports host practices out here. And as well as the new ones that are back up over in Norton, which y'all saw way, way earlier on this tour. There's also a wraparound gravel trail, which serves as like a very, very wide running track. So if you like to jog great distances or walk great distances, this would be the place to do it. These are public fields. Anyone is able to use them. You don't have to be a Western Carolina University student to use these fields, but yeah. Oh boy. We've only got a few more stops here on this tour, so let's make it to the finish line. So, holy jeez. Okay. So, now, as we approach the end here of the creek lot, we are moving on to the last batch of stops here on our Western Carolina University tour. And hopefully this live stream will actually upload to YouTube. Hopefully I don't have to delete it again like I had to last time, because yeah, that was not a good look. For any of you who attended the last Western Carolina University YouTube live stream, you know what I'm talking about. So, okay. Now we're going to cross this bridge. This is our creek lot. Another very popular tailgating spot here on campus, which also gives you view to a lot of our off-campus apartments. We're going to cross this bridge. Typically on game days, you'll see kids playing here in the water, especially during the warmer months. You'll find kids playing around here in the water. Now we're moving on to this big building here. This is the Ramsey Center. This is where we host our basketball games and volleyball games. right here. In fact, if you look at the sign right here, it says it's home to our RRAC administration office, ticket offices, Department of Athletics. It also has a motion picture production studio. And there's also a Caltrans stop here, which is where we're standing right now. So now we're going to make our way over this way. It looks like we got some more seniors taking some graduation photos over by the original cat statue. So unfortunately, I don't want to go up there because I don't want to get them on camera. They're already going to be on someone else's camera, so what the heck. So instead, we're just going to walk past them, and we're going to walk up on this sidewalk, and we will head to the Catamount commuter parking deck. And it's here where we will have 3 more stops. We got the parking deck, the baseball stadium, and the bottom lot. And then we will end our tour at the bottom lot. So, yeah. I appreciate all of you guys who have come in and have at least tuned into the stream. That's great. Of course, the stream will be on YouTube, so if you want to come back and watch it later on, it'll be there, hopefully. So, here's that. So now we're here at the secondary, we're at the Forest Hills Road entrance of Western Carolina University, right here. Our parking deck is right over here. 3-story parking deck. And of course, the Ramsey Center over there, the original cat statue is back over there. Yeah, we're huffing it out here to the finish line. Then, yeah, so we're here. All right, so here we are at the parking deck. We're going to go under here. So yeah, for the final spots here on this campus. A lot of parking spots. And this is just the first floor of this massive parking deck. Right? So, and then on the other side of this parking deck, you can't see it because of the sun glare, but our baseball stadium, Childress Field at Hennon Stadium, is on the other side of this deck. So, here we are. So Hennon Stadium is over here. It's a wonderful baseball stadium. You'll get a better view of it once we go down this road to where our final stop will be. The Pride of the Mountains Marching Band Practice Facility. So this is where all of us Pride of the Mountains Marching Band members enter every day to rehearse for game days and performances. All right, so we are almost at the end of this tour, which is over 2 hours long. Honestly, this is exactly how long I thought this tour was going to last. Because, my God, this campus is way bigger than you think it is. So, over here is Hennon Stadium. You can see it a lot better now. Grandstands, the field, all of that is over here. I'll pause right here so y'all can see it. If anyone who is here is still here. So, now we are entering the final stop on this tour. The Pride of the Mountains Marching Band practice field. Well, I can't really call it a field. It's more of a facility because our practice field is made out of asphalt. So, yeah, but we'll walk up to it. Also, over here is an abandoned greenhouse. And I say abandoned because there's another greenhouse that's over at Apodaca on the 5th floor terrace. So, I don't really know what this area is used for anymore, but over here is where Pride of the Mountains practices. This is where all the behind-the-scenes actions for our shows takes place. I believe this field has been here since 2000, since like 2016 or 17, I believe. Oh, there's a Catran. So, yeah. So with that said, this is the final stop of our Western Carolina University tour. Thank you guys so much for watching. And we'll see you on the next video. This is WaterDive 122 signing out. Ready to dive and more fun on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed the tour, and we'll see you later.